First of all, how is it February already? You mean it's a whole new year and not just any year, 2025? I thought there'd be flying cars by now. I've been wanting to make a new review for a while now, but wouldn't you know it, life happened. I'm back in college. Yay. Interesting things I've done since October include watching Venom 3, total waste of time, going to a Spider-Verse concert, which was life-changing. I watched both Sonic 3 and Mufasa in theaters.
What did you say about my brother?
And yes, Sonic was way better. You're telling me we went from being prepared to this?
Bye-bye. I'm ready to go. Bye-bye.
This to me low-key had the writing of one of those bad direct-to-DVD Disney sequels. I also got a chance to watch Flow, and you know what? I liked it. Probably not as much as everyone else, but I still enjoyed it. The style is very simplistic, yet still capable of feeling grand, cinematic, and even breathtaking. The animal characters are very well realized, and it has good messages about survival and camaraderie, much like The Wild Robot. Though I fear this will become another Spider-Verse versus the Boy and Heron situation, where people pit two movies that have minor coincidental similarities against each other until the end of time, all because some award show said one was better than the other. And though it would be great if The Wild Robot won, would it really be so bad if a silent indie animation took home the trophy? I mean, as long as Disney ain't winning, am I right? Okay, this movie was also good. Am I rambling a bit? I feel like I'm rambling a bit. Let me get to the actual movie. So, confession time. I have not actually read the Dogman books. I remember all my classmates loving it in school though, I just personally never got around to reading it. I mean, you guys gotta admit, the premise is pretty weird. I asked my mom if she wanted to watch the movie with me so I can review it, and she's like, sure, what's it about? And I'm like, so apparently they stitch a dog's head to a man's body? Wait, what? And somehow she still watched it with me. The movie's plot is both simple and surprisingly complicated, where Dogman has to foil evil cat Petey's plans to take over the city, complicated by the arrival of his baby clone, Lil Petey. There's a resurrected evil fish, a reporter, and living buildings thrown in, you know, just to keep things interesting. And you can probably tell just from how I described this movie how crazy and weird it is. It does have a breakneck pace to it, and is less about having a cohesive plot and more about jumping from one gag to the next. Thankfully, there are some really good gags in here. But if you ask me how it all went down, I couldn't tell you. But what I can tell you is just how charming this movie is, and I think a lot of that is due to the animation, which transfers Dave Pilkey's vision to the big screen perfectly. It's punchy and colorful and pulls off that 2.5 look we've come to love, and has very well done character animation. Almost reminds me of the Big Nate Show, except way better. I feel like studios think they can just drop the frame rate and think we won't notice the character animation lacking. Yeah, we're on to you. But when done right, good character animation still shines through in LFR animation. All of that is to say, visually this movie understood the assignment. A total relief now that DreamWorks is apparently outsourcing their animation. Now the characters themselves aren't quite as dynamic, or at least the titular character Dogman, who is cute and likable, but gets so easily overshadowed by Petey and his subplot, who is definitely the more developed of the two, as he is another generational trauma / daddy issues character. You Hollywood directors really have some unresolved personal issues, huh? But to be fair, I did like how Petey and Dogman's arcs kind of paralleled each other, both feeling lonely after the closest people to them have left, but now find joy through fostering what is essentially a lost child, Lil Petey. I can confirm that all of these good reviews are because of Lil Petey. That crazy high Roger Ebert rating, Lil Petey. That crispy Metacritic score, Lil Petey. He's so cute. And I guess now DreamWorks has officially created two of the most adorable wholesome characters in the past decade.
Round 1, fight!
I also love the fact that Lil Petey is important to all the adults in his life. I don't think I've ever seen a movie where both the hero and the villain are concerned with the well-being of a child. And yes, it does technically make this another DreamWorks movie about parenthood, just explored beautifully in The Wild Robot, but while that movie was more about motherhood and survival, this movie is more about fatherhood and unconditional love. It's of course not as emotionally profound and grounded as The Wild Robot, but it does have a lot of great messages about family and how long-suffering love can really change a person. The supporting cast is fine. Chief does get the most laughs because of how over the top he is. I also like the assistant because of how passive she was.
Can I have tomorrow off? It's my mother's birthday.
You're fired!
I empathize with her wanting days off her job a little bit too much. The Aussie reporter, fine, if not terribly memorable. Sam Sparks is a much better and fleshed out reporter character. Though if there were a character who really stole the show for me, it would be the evil fish played by Ricky Gervais. He's so deliciously hammy, you can tell he had a lot of fun voicing the character. And Pete Davidson does a surprisingly good job of playing Pete. He knows how to really amp up the energy, though I feel like this was like maybe some typecasting in there, you know, Pete and Petey. Now to answer the totally necessary question of which movie movie is better, Captain Underpants or Dogman, I would say Captain Underpants has a bit of an edge. It's more focused and overall more tightly written, while still being tons of fun and silly. I would say Dogman still lands in that same ballpark of quality, and honestly, how tidy did you expect a film about a dog's head stitched to a man's body fighting an evil humanoid cat to really be? Like making a mud pie as a kid. It may be messy, but it sure is fun. I didn't actually make mud pies as a kid though. Anyways, really cute movie. If you're a fan of the books, it's a must watch. If not, catch it on streaming. It's like a cinematic Saturday morning cartoon, and I mean that in the best way possible. I forgot to mention, but there was a Bad Guy short film that played before the movie. It was very funny, like I really loved it. Laughed a lot, and it made me excited for the second movie that's supposed to come out like, I think in August or something, so that'll probably be pretty good. Yeah, I've been pretty busy lately between school and work and school again, but I'm trying to make some more long form reviews, you know, this is kind of like a quick vid. But either way, thanks for sticking around with me, for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys pretty soon. Bye.